Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to this new unit number 1, and this is from level 9. Okay, so this is the first level from the pre-intermediate course. Also, this is the first unit, so welcome to this level. So in this unit you will learn two things. Number 1, make questions and respond to questions about the past. So as you can see, we're going to be focusing on using the simple past tense. We will get into more detail in a little bit, but let's continue to the second point that you're going to learn as well. You will learn to talk about past habits with used to, okay? So used to is a helpful phrase to talk about things you did in the past, but in the present you do not do. Okay, in Spanish we say solía, soler, okay, which means about things again like you either didn't do or did do, and in the present it's different. We will get into more detail in a little bit. So let's begin with the first lesson. So in the first lesson we're going to quickly talk about the expressions about the simple past and also about used to. As you can see, in the simple past we have examples of yes and no questions. Now it's important to mention that there are two types. Questions with was and were. Remember that was and were come from the verb be. Be, ser o estar. Okay, so it's only one verb, and it's important to be able to tell the difference between was and were because it is only one verb, and the difference between questions with the auxiliary did. The difference is because with did you use different actions, such as like in this example. Okay? And here, as you can see, we make only a combination in the question with only one verb, were. As you can see, we do not have any other action because were functions as the verb. Whereas we have did, which functions as the auxiliary. It's just going to help. But the real action, the real verb is like. Okay? So with that said, please take note and take into consideration the difference between was and were and did. So, for example, yes or no questions. Example number 1. Were you shy as a kid? Were you shy as a kid? ¿Eras tímido cuando eras niño? Now, this is going to give you only two possibilities, either yes or no. So, were you shy as a kid? Yes, I was. I was very shy. Were you shy as a kid? No, I wasn't. I was very outgoing. Okay, so that's why we call them yes or no question, because we only have two possibilities, either a yes or a no. Now, we also have questions, again, yes or no questions, but with the auxiliary verb did. Okay? So, did you like your teachers? Did you like your teachers? ¿Te caían bien tus profesores? Again, you only have two possibilities, yes or no. Did you like your teachers? Yes, I did. I liked them a lot. Or, did you like your teachers? No, I didn't. I didn't like them very much. Alright? So, that's the difference. Again, you only have two possibilities. And remember to take into consideration the use of were or was and were, and the use of the auxiliary did for other actions like like. Okay, so let's continue with the next section, which is information questions. So the same, we only have was and where, but as you can see, we have the information question which. Again, this is going to change the context of the question because we are asking for specific types of information. In this case, which, cuáles. In this case, where, dónde. So we're not going to have the question, or I'm sorry, we're not going to have the answer yes or no because it is not asking that type of information, but it is focusing on specific. Depending the information question, you're going to have a specific type of answer. Again, we have similar to the previous one with was and where and with did. So, information questions with was and where. Which was your favorite cartoon? Which was your favorite cartoon? ¿Cuál era tu caricatura favorita? ¿Cuál? Okay, so this is the specific type of information we want. So, which was your favorite cartoon? It was Scooby-Doo. It was my favorite cartoon. Okay, as you can see, you have to be coherent. Which was? ¿Cuál era? Era Scooby-Doo. Okay, so it's important to be coherent. Then, information questions with did. Now remember I told you because did only functions as the auxiliary, we have the other action. In this case it is live. Where did you live? Okay, where did you live? ¿Dónde vivías? Where did you live? Okay, as you can see, this functions as help, but the actual verb, the action, is this, live, vivir. Okay, so where did you live? I lived in Mexico City, but I moved to Puebla 5 years later. Okay, so as you can see, we have other type of actions: lived, viví, moved, mudé. Okay, so again, we're using different type of actions. We do not include an auxiliary here in the response because it is not necessary. We are going to need the help of the auxiliary verb only for questions. Okay, so this is the part about information questions. Remember, we have different kinds of examples. Which and where are only two. We have when, we have what, we have who, etc. Now let's continue to the final topic from this unit. Obviously in the next lessons we're going to get into more detail, but let's just check what is used to. And remember that at the beginning of this video I mentioned that used to in Spanish means solía, right? Now that gives you the idea that about an action that in the past you did and in the present you don't, or in the past you didn't but in the present you do. So they contrast because they are different. We have this example. Did you used to practice sports in school? Did you used to practice sports in school? ¿Solías practicar deportes en la escuela? Okay, so in this case, again, as you can see, we have an example of yes or no question. The only possibilities are yes or no. So, did you used to practice sports in school? Yes, I did. I used to play soccer. If it is no, then no, I didn't. I didn't used to play any sports. Okay, now it's really important to mention that used to is always written in the past. Remember, this whole topic, this whole lesson is about the past, el pasado. That's why we have it with ed. Now, it's important to mention because here in the question we have used to. We do not have the d. Why is that? Remember that when we have a question, we're going to use the past with the auxiliary verb. In this case, with did. So it will be redundant if you put a did and then you write down used. That would be incorrect. And as you can see, it happens to the nature of questions. Here we have the auxiliary did, and here we have live in the present or base form. We do not have lived. We have live. Same here. Did you like? We don't have did you liked. That would be incorrect. So it's the same for used to. Did you used to practice sport in school? Now, when you respond, in this case, you are confirming yes. That means you're going to say used again, like in the past. Yes, I did. I used to play soccer. Sí, yo solía jugar soccer. Okay, but if it is no, did you used to practice sports in school? No, I didn't. I didn't used to play any sports. No, yo no solía jugar ningún deporte. So, again, we have didn't. Remember that for negative examples, we have the auxiliary didn't. So it's the same because we're using the auxiliary, in this case for a negative statement, then we're going to eliminate the d. So didn't, we're already referring to the past, and then in use, we're going to eliminate the letter d. We can also make questions regarding used to with information questions. In this case, which. Okay? Which music did you used to listen? ¿Cuál música solías escuchar? Or, ¿qué música solías escuchar? Which music did you used to listen? I used to listen to metal and rock. Yo solía escuchar metal y rock. Alright? Very good. So, this is the end of the first lesson. I will see you for lesson number 2. Okay? Have a nice day. See you later.